My parents grew up in the Deep South during the time of segregation and redlining. My mom grew up in Florida and my dad grew up in Mississippi. It was very tough for them to own homes, own businesses. My dad in Mississippi, wasn't even allowed to get a business license, and they both ended up moving out of the South and moving to New York, where I'm originally from. And it was really tough buying a housing, because then up north, the housing is very expensive. So there was one problem in the South and one problem up north. Being able to own a home means a lot to me, because it means being able to break through a lot of barriers that they weren't able to break through. So when I started searching for a home, I was impacted by the interest rates, the home prices, and the limited availability very extensively. Homes were on average receiving about 6 or 7 offers, many offers being tens of thousands of dollars over asking price. The interest rate that was constantly increasing, what it kept doing was it kept putting me in a position where I had to constantly get my pre-approval offers redone. It was frustrating to see pre-approvals going from one amount to another. The amount that I was able to borrow was like $100,000 less than when I originally started. As housing prices in New Hampshire didn't decrease that fast, it definitely made it scary and tough for me to navigate, as I was fearful I would have to move further and further out away from work. So it was a lot for me to understand what I was capable of buying. I realized that I had to get some counseling before I was able to officially buy a home. I first heard about the Home Team program after I started searching for a home more seriously. I had to get my credit pulled, and I learned that there was this program out there that could help me better understand the process of buying a home and owning a home. And that's when I started working with my counselor, Richard. You get these kind of generic letters from the bank about what you can afford, but that's just generic, just based off of income. When I say I explicitly want to live in somewhere like Portsmouth or Newport, that changes. The bank doesn't, they'll tell you later on what you can afford. But what Richard and the Home Team helped me understand was, okay, I want to buy this specific home now. So this is what we have to do. And not only that, but these different programs. We were talking about Fannie Mae, we're talking about FHA, we're talking about USDA, and where I could actually use USDA. He broke all of that down from the different programs, the different interest rates, how they account for certain debts differently, and was able to say, if you're going to move here, this program is better, but if you're going to move over in this town, this program's actually better. He helped me realize that I could afford more home if I went for a multifamily. With a multifamily, I could afford more property because they use projected income from the rental unit to be able to put it towards your income. The Home Team program set me up with the skills that I needed to not only be a homeowner, but to be a landlord. Taught me about the responsibilities of what happens if a tenant calls me and there's a water leak in the other unit, or maybe I need to get in there to repair something. Just learning about the tenant's rights and being able to respect those rights, and just making sure that not only I'm set up to be a great homeowner, but I'm also set up to be a great landlord as well. My mom cried the first time I told her about me being able to get a home. She told all my sisters, and she told all her family members in the South. It was a very big deal, and I think the Home Team definitely helped me with that and achieving that goal. And sometimes I feel like my parents are more excited about it than I am. My mom and my dad love to see pictures all the time of, well, what does your yard look like? And then I have to go, well, there's 5 feet of snow back there, but I'll get back to you in maybe April. But, it means a lot to be able to own a home and finally be able to do things that they fought for me to have rights for.